Hello, my name is Ingrid, and thank you again for joining. Today, I want to talk to you about life, this earthly life that we live. Many people struggle in this realm. Many people that are not struggling with this realm at some point or the other may have struggled or may not have, but the struggle still is real. It's real because the majority of people struggle, and the minority of people have found a way not to struggle because of financial security, or they've literally disengaged from mainstream, communities or the population. What is this life? This morning I woke up and my attempts to do what I wanted to do. I'll wake up and I'll say to myself, this is what I want to do today. Or I'll say it the day before or the week before. But the night before is important because I'm setting the intention to get up that day and to do the things that I believe I can do. How many of you have set the intention and then you wake up and unbeknownst to you, there are other forces working against your intention, the one you set for yourself? Those forces may be health, those forces may be spiritual, those forces may be somebody else, something else. But whatever those forces are, they're the variables that we don't always account for. But the biggest variable that interrupts our effort, our ability to carry out our intention, is a lack of motivation. Many of us are not motivated. There are so many books on motivation and so many motivational speakers that have spoken about the topic of motivation. So how come, even though we have access to the information and it's out there, how come we're not getting it? My proposition to you is motivation is difficult to get because it is an individualistic accomplishment. Clients come to me all the time and I can tell them things and I can suggest things, but if that person does not motivate themselves, if that person doesn't have what it takes inside of them to set their own intention and follow through on it, I can't do anything for that person. Therefore, motivation is something that is individualistic because it requires that individual to participate in order for it to have a favorable outcome. Why are we lacking motivation as a society? I'm not saying that everybody is. I'm not generalizing here. I'm just asking a question. What's our motivation? What should motivate us on a daily basis? When we wake up in the mornings, how do we plan on dealing with the day? I mean, we set these intentions. Some of us before the coronavirus, we wanted to go to the gym and we never got there. Others of us did. What separates you from that person? Everybody's like, well, that person obviously is practicing the rules of success. That person is obviously they have what it takes to succeed. Yeah, they do, but they still had to set the intention before they accomplish any measure of success, and they have motivation. It is very difficult when you're going through trials and tribulations or problems or having issues, whether financial or relationship, to motivate yourself. It is very difficult to get out of bed when you have or suffer with, chronic depression, because that's something outside of your control. There's so many elements outside of our control that we can't ignore them when they're presented, or we can't ignore them when they're so prominent that they strip us of our own motivation. So before we can even motivate ourselves, we have to recognize that there are days, whether there's a song that says, Mama always said there'll be days like this. There are days when you will not want to get up. I have those days. There's days when you don't want to do the things that you know you should do. Hell, there are days you don't want to go to work, or days you don't want to get up and engage with your children because you may be tired. You're physically and mentally drained. So how do we address the issue of just getting up and facing the day? Forget about motivation right now. Think about what it takes for you to get up and face the day. Why do you put in the effort when you have children? Because you have to. Why do you put in the effort in a relationship? Because you want to. It is all desire. Your desires supersede the negative desire to fail. Did that make sense? I'm thinking about what I just said. Your desire or the desire to succeed should supersede your desire to fail. And in a perfect world, that would work. But let me tell you about my world. I can't talk about your world. I can talk about my world. In my world, I have the desire. Most days I feel like I'm motivated. Most days I can talk the talk, but then most days I don't walk the walk. Why is that? Why is it so innate in me to talk and say the things that I know I can help others with, but then there are days when I can't even motivate myself or set my intention and accomplish my intention? Why is that? It's because it requires effort. And the effort it requires is you. Nobody else can do for yourself what you can do for you. It's that simple. Nobody can pull you up and drop you down. I think James Allen says it in As a Man Thinketh. He says, man wants to change his circumstances but is unable to change himself. It starts with you. Look in the mirror. It's not your boss. It's not your wife or your husband or your children or your family or your parents. Look in the mirror. It starts with you. Set the intention and realize that if this thing is going to happen, there's no other force outside of yourself greater than the force that lies within you to motivate you. Motivation, I believe, can be external. It also can be internal. You've read that in books. You've heard that. But think about this. You have to recognize, first of all, the responsibility that lies with yourself. So my challenge today is for you to get up and think about what you want for yourself. Not other people. You could be in a family, you could have children, you can have siblings, you can have parents. Forget all of that. What do you want to accomplish in your life? This is a great time during coronavirus. This is a great time to reflect and to perform introspection, to look inwards, to see ourselves as we really are. I am an imperfect being living in an imperfect world. I cannot be perfect here. There's no such thing as perfection in this realm. We can strive towards perfection, and that perfection is denoted by man-made characteristics and stuff. But I'm an imperfect being. If I recognize I'm imperfect, I have something to strive towards. It's a continuous process. But today, let's set the intention. And let's realize when we're setting the intention that the motivation is needed and that the motivation that is required lies within you. I hope you got something from this. If you did, please subscribe, like my videos, and your comments are welcome because all feedback is a part of my growth. My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you for coming. Bye.